Yes, people, how are we doing? You know what time it is. When I'm here and it's not 10 a.m., it's typically good news or big news. And it's the news we've been waiting 3 weeks for. We spoke this morning and I was like, I don't really see why we're not going to be here later on today with a here we go. Boom. We're already here with a here we go. David Ornstein with the bomb confirming that Manchester United have reached an agreement with Brentford to sign Bryan Mbeumo. The fact that it's 71 million just cracks me up. I really do think it's almost like they just got the extra mil. I'm going to run through it. You can let me know what you think. I've left the chat completely open today. If you're not subscribed, you can also get involved. But make sure you do. It's going to be a busy show and it's going to be an excited show because we've been waiting quite a long time for this. I'm going to run through the details. Going to run through the here we go from Fabrizio Romano. And we can have a conversation here as well. All right. Manchester United have reached an agreement with Brentford to sign Bryan Mbeumo. The deal has been struck at 65 million guaranteed. Up to 6 million in add-ons. 4 installments. So now we've got the payment terms there. 4 installments. It's only 3 installments for Cunha, by the way. We're paying 20 mil this summer. And then another, 20 mil for the next 2 summers. 6 mil is 1 more in the add-ons, but I imagine that United have actually got that down as tougher add-ons. Fabrizio's followed it up straight after with the here we go. Bryan Mbeumo to Manchester United. Here we go. Green light from Brentford. And he's saying 70 mil. Difference of a mil, it doesn't really matter for us, let's be totally honest. 1 mil here or there. A couple of super chats, let me read these out. What you're saying? Reporting the fee in dollars. I can't stand journalists, says Scott. Well, here's what it is. Game's a game. Either way, we've got Bryan Mbeumo. Let's read through the full article on The Athletic. David Ornstein. Manchester United have reached an agreement to sign Bryan Mbeumo. It feels nice to say that. It feels nice to say that, doesn't it? I have maintained pretty much this whole time that I've not been worried about the deal not going through. The only thing that scared me was the fact that I thought the Vissa and Newcastle stuff could have caused a problem. And I think it probably lit a fire under United's arse. Anyway, after weeks of negotiation, a deal worth up to $71 million. Now, damn it, you've got dollars in my head now. Up to £71 million has finally been struck. It comprises of an initial 65 mil and potentially 6 mil in bonuses. He prioritised United over all other clubs. And he's got the deal. That's it. That's pretty much all the news there. We go back to that. Oh, yeah. This feels good. This feels good. I don't actually know whether he needs a work permit. I can see a couple of you asking in the chat. I honestly don't know. Red Smurf, you're saying, finally now a keeper and a striker and offload Sancho, Rashford and Anthony. It'll be a great window. I've only got to do another 7 things. Let's just focus on Mbeumo for now, right? Ladies and gents. I know we've spoken about this before, but I'm going to keep reiterating and repeat this again. And there it is. There's a here we go. But Cunha and Mbeumo. Sure, it's 100. What is it? 170 mil, 130 mil between them. That's 2 Premier League proven goal scorers into a team. I think between them, they only scored 9 goals less than all of United's team last season in the Premier League. As to how disgusting we were in the league, but also how prolific those two were. Has it been a long negotiation? Yep. Is the price fair? We were speaking about this in the live show here, peeps. Hey, that's totally fair. If you give me 2 choices, would I rather sign Elanga for 55 mil or Mbeumo for 70? Whoop, and I'm choosing Mbeumo. Would I rather sign João Pedro for 60 mil or Mbeumo for 70? I'm still going to go João Pedro. No, not João Pedro. Damn it. Bryan Mbeumo. Time to open the champagne, someone says down there. Well, it is 12:50. It is a Friday. Ibrahim gifting 5 memberships. Samantha, thank you very much. Sending in the super sticker as well. The chat is popping. I'll tell you what. ABR, you're saying the relief's insane? I think when you get a protracted transfer like this, I suppose the relief is a little bit, it's kind of part and parcel of it. But both players, right? Look, if we get any bigger signings than these 2 this summer, I'll be amazed. We're absolutely amazed. But I also didn't think that we would spend over 52 mil for a player and we've signed 2 over there. So who am I to actually listen to? Sometimes I'm right. Sometimes I'm not. But these are our 2 biggest signings that will be on the plane. Fingers crossed now. Because I said for this, basically United wanted him on the plane for USA. We fly on Tuesday. So we needed, I thought, 48 hours to get it done. Well, we've given ourselves 72 now, right? 72 hours to get it all, whether he needs a work permit or not. I should probably look into it after, but I don't actually know. 45 days, I think it was. Someone's saying down there. I believe Bryan Mbeumo said that he wanted to join United on the 2nd of June. I think it was the 2nd of June. And it's the 18th of July. So that's how long the negotiations went on for. I think we're all going to be happy, though. Like, famous last words and all that. Well done, Sam. You've jinxed it. It's on you now. I'll take that responsibility. I will be stunned. Stunned into silence if Cunha and Mbeumo don't end up being successful signings. But I know how many misses we've had, right? And I know you might say I'm tempting fate by speaking about it now and say, Sam, hold on, hey, what are you doing, man? You're an idiot. Surely we can't have these two just, completely forget how to play in the Premier League, having done so well in the Premier League. I didn't get that haircut, Tom. I was about to go out for it. I swear to God, I was about to go out for the haircut. Magic Mike, you said that Magic Mike, they're not sure. So we spent 150 mil for 2 Premier League proven players and get mocked. Liverpool spent 150 mil on what's his face, Verts, and they're like, who gives it? I know it's hard to do in modern football, and it's easy enough for me to say right now, but like, who gives a crap what's going on at any other club? I know it's kind of part and parcel of being the fan and being a modern fan and getting involved and banter, etc., etc. But just like, you don't look at what other clubs are doing. Just focus on Manchester United. We were crap last year. We were in the pits last year, and we have so much to do this summer. Cunha was a starting point, and United have gone for experience. And this is a clear two-pronged strategy. That's what I would call it for Manchester United this summer. Number one, go after Premier League proven quality experience with goals. Cunha and Mbeumo. And hey, you know how people tried to laugh at United because Liam Delap rejected United? We may well never have been in for Mbeumo if we had signed Liam Delap. You have to think about that for a second. Ellie, you're saying he needs a work permit. Hey, look, I'll look into it after, man. All right, I'll look into it after. George, you're saying goalkeeper next. I'm not sure whether it'll be a goalkeeper next. But it's just, enjoy it, man. Enjoy it. The dopamine of a transfer is why everyone loves transfer windows. Whether or not it turned into exactly what we need it to be, we'll find out. But yeah, we may well have signed Liam Delap and never been in for Bryan Mbeumo. The world of football dominoes in the transfer window. You don't know what's going to happen. What's next after this? We don't know. Right? Let's see what... Isn't it quite funny watching Ornstein and Fabrizio? They're also... It's like Skepta and Joyner Lucas are having a little bit of beef right now. And it's like Fabrizio and Ornstein. I reckon they should drop diss tracks against each other. The Fabrizio... Who would win that? Who would win a rap battle between Ornstein and Fabrizio? I think Ornstein would just be like... I think I'll probably back Ornstein. This is what you tune in for, right? This is what you tune in for. Who would win a rap battle between Ornstein and Fabrizio? Let me read some of the chat out because the chat is absolutely popping. But anybody who's just tuned in, this is the big show. This is the one we've been waiting for. Ornstein's confirmed it. We have reached the agreement. Donald, you're saying, as much as it was frustrating waiting, need to give United their props for both Cunha and Mbeumo to be paid off in installments as opposed to being all at once. And I think that's a fair point. You can see down there 4 installments. Quick bit of maths. What's that? 65 divided by 4. 15? No. 12 and a half? 12 and a half is 6. 12 and a half is 50. 15 times 4. That's 60. 16.25 mil-ish? A little bit of mental maths. Something like that. So roughly 16 million. Oh, I'll tell you what I can do. Ha! Should have done this beforehand, but no, we can do this live and direct. Come on. Let's go to that. Let's go here. And let's go. Boom. Put you down there. What is it up front? 65 mil guaranteed. Add that to that. What's that? Just doing some quick maths here, peeps. Don't mind me, all right? 63 plus that. 63, what's that? 6. plus 65 equals what? Oh, God. That's 120. I'm trying to do the boards at the same time. 128? I think that's 128. 63. I think that's right. Well, that doesn't really count. That's what I mean about these boards. As accurate as I can be. Boom, let's go to the whiteboard. That's the wrong one. Why is that not working? Ah, God, never mind. That was a waste of time. Anyway, I'll update the whiteboard. That's why you don't do it live and direct. Sometimes it doesn't work. Beerkely saying, here's hoping these two can push Højlund on to be a better striker. Looking forward to seeing all three link up. I agree with you on that one, dude. Zem, you're saying, shout out to Ornstein, by the way. Just drops the bombs and leaves. He's absolutely mad, isn't he? He's the king of it. You've got to give him that. 16.25 mil. Jay, wow, you gifted 50, mate. Everyone's hyping it. Hypey in here. And it should be, man. This guy is a 20-goal season. Well, whether he continues at United or not, we'll find out. But he scored 20 goals last season for Brentford in the Premier League. 7 assists. Cunha got 15 goals and I think 8 assists. Thereabouts. I think between them, what is it? 35 goals and... Is it 50 goals or assists? Between them? Just those two? I think I said this before Amorim came in. And mate, I'm going to stand by it. Seriously going to stand by it. If this isn't what... I'm not saying that they're going to be the ones that make United win everything. But if this isn't going to be the thing that bloody turns that ship around... Like, Christ, where else do you go? Seriously, where else do you go if you spend 130 mil on probably two of the best players from the Premier League outside of the top 6 in Cunha and Mbeumo? And I tell you one thing I'm really, really happy about. I was a bit worried, a little bit worried. It means that the 2 videos that we have prepared and we have had in the back end, giggity, for about 5 weeks, we can actually release. So we've got, if you tune in after this show, we're going to drop our Bryan Mbeumo profile where you learn everything about Mbeumo's game, exactly his qualities, where he's going to fit into the team. You're going to like it. It's got a class soundtrack. And also, we've done a little mini documentary on Fergie's playbook, on signing the best from rivals in the Premier League. And both of these can now be released. So they're going to be coming in the next few days. Jay, you gifted 100. Jeez. Man, I wish I had a beer. Damn it, should have got a beer before the show. It's past 12 o'clock. You're allowed to. It's Friday. You're happy at the negotiation and the 4 installments. Vano, you're saying, will he be on the plane to America? I mean, that's exactly what United want. And I think that was always, you might say this is Captain Hindsight, but I think that was always United's plan, strategy, deadline, if you want to call it that. And that really was the deadline. The Leeds game would have been a Brucey bonus to have these two both in the starting 11. But to have them both on the plane for the preseason tour, they're flying out to America, that's where the bonding is going to happen. That's where, you know, look, I've spoken to plenty of Sporting fans about Ruben Amorim, about what he did right, about why they love him so much. And so many of those fans say that it was the preseason where it really happened. It was the preseason where so much of the good work was done. So obviously a lot of, I think there were 19 different transfers that summer in Sporting's first summer in terms of players leaving, some on a free, bringing some in, some on a loan. Young C, that's a good question down there. Fire it in the chat. What shirt number do you think he's going to get? What shirt numbers are even free? Let's have a quick look. I don't even know what shirt number did he have at Brentford? Bryan Mbeumo, shirt number, Brentford. Let's have a look. So he was 19 at Brentford. Let's have a look at what's free and available at United right now. Is 19 available? I can't even remember. I used to be better with shirt numbers. Anybody 19? Bam, 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 bam. Let's have a look. Well, that's easy, isn't it? Well, there you go. We already know what number he's going to get because 19's not taken in the squad right now. You heard it here first. He's getting 19. Mate, I'm buzzing about this. I am properly... I might not sound it. I really not. And I'm very consciously aware I think the Onana transfer really stung me in terms of me not hyping a player up, but like looking at what a player does at another club and thinking, my God, he's just going to do that in the United shirt. But surely Cunha and Mbeumo will. Surely Cunha and Mbeumo will. Samir, you're saying, I know they were strikers, but these give out some serious Andy Cole and Dwight York vibes. I mean, calm your boots here, mate. Let's not go crazy. Right, let's not go crazy. We've got over 5,500 watching. Make sure you drop a like on the video. Make sure you subscribe. Come into the United People's TV family. It is the best community out there. I try and engage with as much of you as possible, and I'm glad that we all got to enjoy this together because it sets up the weekend. Everyone can look forward to the Leeds game. I was just about to drop my Leeds starting 11 video. That's going to have to wait. Probably drop that at 7 p.m. tonight now instead. Right, that'll definitely still go out. Ricky saying, feel for anyone who's already bought a Brentford shirt with Mbeumo this season. I imagine they do refunds, don't they? What are you saying down here in the chat? Exciting player, says Jaco, who only wanted United. I always consider that a bit of a bonus. It's not a necessity with any signing because it just doesn't really exist as much in the modern game. But having a player who actually wants to play for your club, it makes a difference in those moments. I'm convinced. There's no like scientific proof I can give you. It's just my opinion as a football fan. In those games, those moments where your back's against the wall, you've got to give that extra 5%. If you're playing for a club that you want to play for, you want to be there, you just commit a bit more of yourself to it. And so often for United in those situations, those games, players have turned to self-preservation and go, I don't really care about United enough. I'm just going to hold back. All right? As long as I'm good, that's all that matters. Amram here has got, and I said this in a video, I said United here have got two men. And they're being brought into a team where there's a lot of boys. And we've needed that. Authority is an important part of success in football. You might feel like I'm kind of going off on a tangent here, but I think I'm right. And I've always pointed out the only reason the class of 92 was so successful, not the only reason, but a big reason was because of the leadership team they grew up into. Cantona and Keane and Bruce, and my God, it's like you weren't allowed to balls up because of who you had ahead of you. Højlund will massively benefit from having these two in the team. The other midfielders, Bruno will have someone that he can lean on. It won't just be Bruno trying to do it all on his own, which is a big thing. As great as Bruno is, a weakness of his game is when he feels like he's got to do everything himself. He doesn't have to anymore. Give it to these boys. I want to see Bruno linking up with these. And you're saying two players we probably shouldn't have been able to sign, given where we finished. And I think that's a really good point from Ant there. Lads, we just finished 15th. We just finished 15th, right? We just lost the Europa League final. And United have gone out and signed two players who, and I don't think I'm exaggerating when I say this, two players who have the quality to start in any other Premier League team. Both Cunha and Mbeumo could start for every other team. But they've both chosen United. And particularly Mbeumo. I think the Cunha one was, he chose United early and we went in and paid the release clause. Ta-da! Easy. And Mbeumo had to sit there for 6 weeks. Didn't say a peep. I think that's a pretty good hint and an indication of his professionalism. It's sort of how he's carried himself throughout this. Nothing from his agent. No noise anywhere. And Mbeumo just kind of cracking on, getting on. There you go. Fabrizio, let's have a look down here. Fabrizio's changed his tune. Right, Fabrizio has now agreed with David Ornstein. The fee is 65 plus 6, so 71 in total. Dwayne, do you think they're going to be unlocking Ahmad? I mean, I'm looking forward to some of the videos that I'm going to be able to produce to look into like partnerships. Again, it's a big part of football. You talk about partnerships on that right-hand side. If you imagine, what did we have down there last season on the right-hand side? Who was it that played there most often? Garnacho played there sometimes. Xerxes played there sometimes. It was kind of a bit of a mismatch. Who ended up playing on the right more? Ahmad played there a fair amount, but then he played further back. But now you're going to be looking at Ahmad as your right wing back with Mbeumo as the right attacking midfielder. And this is a guy who presses. You'll learn that by watching the profile video that's coming out. Yardy saying, why can't we sell? You know the answer to that, dude. We've got players that no one wants to buy. The greatest salesman in the world couldn't sell something that no one wants to buy. Delo down the right-hand side, that's what I mean. Delo to Ahmed. Garnacho to Mbeumo. And on that left-hand side, I'm really looking forward to seeing Cunha and Dorgu. I think that could really work. And if it's not Cunha and Dorgu, well, what's happening with Diego Leon? Marco, yeah, quote unquote, the good days are coming. Well, I tell you what, even the most optimistic of Manchester United fans, blinded by the red-tinted specs, I don't think would have guessed that we would have been able to sign Cunha and Mbeumo as our first two signings. I think even the most optimistic of United fans were going into this summer saying, look, right, so we're probably going to have, let's say, 100, 120 million before sales. Kind of what we all thought the budget was. But I thought players that have kind of had that quality were probably going to be out of our reach this summer. I was wrong. I mean, that United pool, I don't know how that United pool hasn't expired. Well, no, not expired, but like weakened. The United pool a few years ago, when Ed Woodward was still here, was because we were just paying a hell of a lot of money. Who wants the biggest wages? In you come. That's the reason why the United pool was still there. That's not the same. Like, Mbeumo and Cunha have bought into the vision. They've met Jason Wilcox, they've met Omar Barada, and I've said this quite a few times. As much as we as fans, we're sitting on the outside, and there's a lot to be pessimistic about. Clearly, the club behind the scenes are able to sell the vision of the next 3 years, of what Amrim's going to do, of what United are going to do behind the scenes. And I just hope that these two are two of the lads that actually, take us in that right direction. Next season is not about winning anything. Next season is about ideally finishing in the Champions League spots and being a bloody coherent team that looks the same week in, week out. Not a team that puts a 9 out of 10 performance and then two out of 10 performances and then disappears off the face of the earth. And then it's great again. Get rid of the roller coaster next season, man. Playing once a week should help that as well. Let's go read some of your chats out. I try and engage with as many of you as I can. Adele, thank you very much for gifting 20 memberships. Legend. Everyone. Jay, gifting 100. That's class, man. Franny saying, Sam reports Sancho is one step away from Juve. From Juve? I bloody hope so, right? Sior saying, please tell us there is a proper midfielder coming in as well. I think I've said to everyone, that central midfielder is my priority after this. There's going to be a lot of you that still feel that a striker is the next priority. And I just would personally disagree. With the goals that you're bringing in there, and I imagine you will get more goals out of Højlund now that you've got those two. Great players improve other players. Right? They do. That's what great teams are. Great teams are a collective of great individuals that all bounce off each other. Other players will be better because Ahmad will be better on that right-hand side because Mbeumo's there. Cunha will be better because he's playing with Mbeumo. Højlund will be better because he's flanked by both of them. Now we need more. We need a better goalkeeper. We need a better central midfielder. And we kind of need a better striker as well, but I would just prioritise other positions first. Adele, you did say you were going to give 20. You came in here. Oh, I didn't go for my haircut. But if I go for a haircut now, we might sign someone else. Don't know. Leigh, are you saying that Højlund needs to go? Hey, look. I would prefer to sell Højlund than to reinvest that money, but I don't think there's going to be anybody that signed him for the price that we need to sell him for. I think we need to get the best part of 40 million so it doesn't go down as a loss from PSR perspective. I think I'm right on that one. And I don't think anyone's going to pay that. So in that sense, we're going to have to keep Højlund or loan him out. What do you reckon other clubs... Actually, no, I don't care. I don't care what other clubs think about United. I honestly don't care what other clubs are doing. And that's probably the best advice I could ever give, being a United fan, running United People's TV, everything I do. Just try and focus on what we're doing. Don't listen to the noise. Don't. It's hard enough. It's very easy to get sucked in and reacting, and sometimes I do as well. Amrim, needs this summer to give him the tools, not just to play Amorim's style of football. And this is a big thing as well. Like, those two signings, and Mbeumo, speak about Mbeumo here, they're not signed specifically for Ruben Amorim. They will work in different formations. They are bought for the vision of the football club. Are you like an athletic, relentless footballer with a great professionalism? There's characteristics that will just apply to every formation and every position, and that's what these sorts of signings are. We're not signing specialists. We're just signing top-class footballers. Wouldn't matter if we're playing a 4-3-3 or a 4-2-3-1 or a 3-5-2. They'll all be good footballers in all of those formations. Focus on the vision of the football club. And that is something I actually feel that we do have behind the scenes now. Like last time, like, look at the managers before, man. Ten Hag, you come in, how do you want us to play? Who do you want us to sign? Anthony? Yeah, come on in. Anybody else? Come on in. We actually haven't really got a long-term vision for this club. So we're just going to do what you tell us to do. United aren't doing that anymore. That's changed. Right? And you're saying strength and bastard level's gone up 3,000%. There's going to be some top-tier shithousery here. Cunha in particular. Wasn't Mbeumo famous for that? Well, you can find out by watching the profile. Good segue. Good segue. See if I'm missing anything here. Right, a little cheeky update from Fabrizio. This is what happens when we're live and direct. AJ Tracy. Right. Bryan Mbeumo's contract at United will be valid until June 2030, plus the option until June 2031. United wanted the +1 option, and it's been included in the agreement. So a 5-year deal with the option to extend. And that option, that option, for example, is what protected Brentford right now, because his contract was expiring next summer, but they had the option to extend. So technically, it was a 2-year contract. It's not necessarily it means that they'll do it, but if they want to, they can. Someone who else gifted 20 memberships down there? Is that Shuab? Mate, thank you so much, dude. Everyone's being generous. What's he saying down here? Neil saying so just 37 million out of this window's budget. I think that's how it works. We paid 20 million for Cunha in the first instalment. We paid 16 million, as we've seen there. David Ornstein's confirmed 4 instalments. Now, we don't actually know whether Brentford may have said, give us 25 mil as the first instalment and pay the rest in the other 3. That could be the case. We don't actually know the breakdown of those instalments. We know the breakdown of the Cunha instalments. It's 3 payments of 20 mil. So we could assume that it's 16 mil. We don't actually know. Probably a minimum of 16 mil. Adele, you're saying you jumped out of your desk when Ornstein dropped it. I was on a Microsoft Teams call. Must have been an interesting call. Not as interesting as the Teams call after that. What was it? What's the name of that CEO who got caught cheating at the Coldplay gig? Oops. Amit saying, what are the advantages of installments? I think it's pretty easy, isn't it? Instead of paying, for all intents and purposes, make it easy numbers, instead of paying 50 million at once, and you got 4 installments, you paid 12.5 million over 4 years. It helps you spread the cost of a signing. It helps your budget stretch further. And it's quite a normal part of football. I wouldn't say it's anything new. Andrew saying the only bouncing off will be the ball when Højlund tries to control it with his back to goal. Højlund's got a lot. Højlund's got a lot to improve on. And you're saying you dropped your phone in the pool. Very nice. You're in the pool. I'm not. I'm stuck in the studio with a bottle of water. That's not beer. What is that? Unbelievable, Jeff. Levi saying, are you confident with the centre-backs? Yeah, I'm fine with this. I think defensively if I was looking at priorities, I'm looking at attack, I'm looking at midfield, I'm looking at goalkeeper, I'm not looking astronaut CEO, that's what it was. Jeez. He done himself right dirty there. Darren is saying usually installments are front-loaded. I think that's typically what it is. That's typically what it is. Great signing, says a Bok. How old is he? He's 26. It's written right there. Come on, man. Fire it in the chat, man. This is an enjoyable show. It's a different sort of show. We've got the energy that we've been wanting. And we've got the here we go. Where is it? Where's the here we go? There? There it is. Looks good in red, doesn't he? He'll definitely be famous last words and all that. I would be absolutely amazed if Bryan Mbeumo isn't on the plane for the USA. I think if we rewind to last summer, geez, I can't even remember this properly. Was it Xerxes that we had on the plane for our preseason tour? And then I think we signed Onana, and I think he made his debut against Arsenal. Was that right? So we actually only had one signing in before the beginning of preseason last season. Small steps, baby steps, but a step in that sense. Front three next season so far of Cunha, Højlund, and Mbeumo. Or maybe Xerxes. It's not impossible. Sam, weren't you going to do something when we signed Mbeumo? Yeah, I was going to do a naked lap. No, I wasn't going to do anything. I was going to do a live show. Right? What's the expectation now? I don't really know. I mean, the expectation isn't a top 6 next season, but that's the ambition of the club. Was Yoro? Did we get Yoro in before? I can't remember. Fran, you're talking about people saying we overpaid. Honestly, I think I'd happily argue with anybody. Honestly, I think I would. That United haven't overpaid. In the grand scheme of this market, I could probably pull up somewhere between 5 and 10 transfers. If I did my research, you know the ones off the top of your head, you're going to say Elanga, you're going to say João Pedro, and you're going to say probably Noni Madueke as well. 50 mil for Madueke. I felt just a bit odd. Can we nickname him Brymo? I'm not going to endorse him calling him Brymo. That's never happening. Aditoto, thank you for gifting 5 memberships too. Ark Hussein, Mbeumo, Ahmad, and Maz or Yoro, that right-hand side is looking fire. Someone's saying we're not looking forward to when AFCON comes around. Balls Ahmad's going as well. Damn it. I was thinking, you could just, put Ahmad further up. I was like, no, Ahmad's going to be gone too. Rios next, someone says down there. Think he's going to be going to, was it Roma? I think Roma are going in. Need a backup for Bruno. Hey, look, we just need a big, powerful central midfielder. You know what I think? We need like an Amadou Onana type central midfielder. We need someone who's like physical. We need someone who's got strides for years, who can eat up ground in and out of possession. I just feel like that's just what we're missing. But that's just a big profile that's just not in this squad. And even if Mainu does play deeper this season, and is very good at it, still don't really think he's that player. Right, someone's going to get a little cheeky, put user in a timeout. You've got a little half an hour timeout down there. Mods, don't be afraid to put people in little cheeky half an hour timeouts if they fancy spamming, because I can see it's all up in this grill down here. Someone's saying that Rios and Roma talks broke down. Huh? Interesting. Haven't really looked too much at Rios, so we'd have to do plenty of research into him. Someone's asking what happened to Douglas Luiz. I don't know. I think it's kind of, anything to do with Douglas Luiz should really be separate to the Sancho conversation. I think it probably would be. Thanks for gifting a membership, Paul. Johnny's saying don't forget Cheeto Obi. I have spare. Fair enough. I have no idea what to expect from Cheeto this year. Garlic Bread Man gifting 10 memberships, man. What a show, man. What a show. What a community. And it's been... I think I can definitely sense that there's a lot of relief. So, Henry, you're asking whether United tax is over. No, that's if you're going to try and pull a negative out of this, then fair, like you do you. I'm not trying to put a negative out of this, but this hasn't ended the United tax. Although I don't think we've overpaid versus what we wanted to pay. Now, you might just say, well, actually, that's more United's fault for the fact that they tried to lowball Brentford first. Because I think 70 mil is fair value. But when that first bid went in, 55 mil, I was like, okay, that's a really strong bid. That can't be too far away from what the actual price is going to be. I was 15 million. Well, actually 16 million wrong, seeing as this is 71 mil. Aiden is saying, I've just gone on break. Here we go. Go on the boys. Edison. Haven't really heard anything about Edison, man. Massive release, says Lyle. Can look forward to seeing United tomorrow. We can finally move on to other targets. And maybe it will be the goalkeeper. Maybe it will be. We've seen the selling them on stuff. Still really haven't seen much when it comes to central midfield. For being totally honest, looking at reports and everything that's been sort of all the whispers and etc., You're definitely seeing more around a new goalkeeper or a new striker. I still think the Sesko stuff is mad. If after all of this, United have got the money to... The only conceivable way that I think that we have the money for Sesko is if we were probably to sell Højlund and we successfully get rid of the bomb squad, as they are now known. Is there still a place for Cobby in the squad? I think there absolutely is. I've got him to start, little teaser. I've got him to start tomorrow in midfield. Deeper, that's what I want to see. Jason saying which signing is next, central midfielder or a striker or a goalkeeper. If I was to predict it, I think United will go goalkeeper next, central midfielder, then striker. That's my prediction. That's a guess. Fran, you're asking if the PO box has been sorted for international packages. Not quite yet. So please don't do that. If you are abroad, don't send anything to the PO box yet because Royal Mail are being absolute arseholes. Really have just balls the whole thing up since I opened it. They delayed it by 2 weeks and they haven't successfully sent me anything. Well done, Royal Mail. You nailed that. Did it. Hey, Sam, calm down there. Wishing Brentford relegation. You're just giving us... Actually, I was actually speaking to my mate. Addy goes, oh, mate, it stinks of relegation now. We're getting picked apart. They've lost. They're losing a lot this summer. Let me see if anything else is being reported on this. I'll head down to the chat one more time. Oh, we like that. Stan Chow, for goodness sake. Well, there goes my money. Strong beer game. Strong ball beer game going on there. Man, if I could grow a beard that thick. Someone mentioning Dumfries down there. No. Nope, nope, nope. Mike watching from Lebanon. How's shirt number 17? No, it'll be 19 from Mbeumo. We already looked. He was 19 at Brentford, and it's free at United, so of course it's going to be him. But yeah, looks like I'm buying that. Looks like we're going to be getting that on that wall there. ASAP Rocky. I swear to God, I must account for like 15% of that bloke's revenues. I've got so many Stan Chow posters. Right. Let me read through the chat one more time. Anybody who's just tuning in, welcome aboard to United People's TV. We've been waiting for the big announcement, and we've got it. All right. Man United have agreed the deal to sign Mbeumo. It feels like a big relief. United have got their man. And importantly, he's going to be on the plane for America. We've now got 3 days to get that all sorted, done and dusted. Whether he needs a work permit or not, I'm not quite sure. But it should be fine. All right. I'm relieved. I'm excited. And having those two is a serious show of intention from United. It really is. Someone down there, Shah, saying patience is a virtue. It is easy to say that in hindsight. I've always tried to remain as patient as possible, and I've never really got too worried about the deal itself. I told you where I got worried. It was about the Visser stuff, and I didn't think Brentford would sell both. So I'll be interested to see if Newcastle's move for Visser now collapses because we've agreed a deal for Mbeumo. Fingers crossed it does, because that would be quite funny. I'm going to wrap this one up. That was a class show, man. Thank you all for tuning in. It was a bit of a boomer show, really. Not boomers. But it was a booming show. If you are new, make sure you do subscribe. Please do drop a like on it. And make sure immediately, in the next 5 minutes, we're going to drop the profile on Bryan Mbeumo. These are some of the most special videos that we do. Loads of research goes into it. And we've been sat on it for like 4 weeks. So that's going to get released. I think you'll enjoy it. And then at 7 p.m. tonight, we've got the Start 11 video going out for Leeds. It is a busy day. It's a Friday. Everyone go and have a beer. Enjoy yourself. Because we got the Ornstein bomb. Big up. I'm excited about it. Take it easy.